this is Amy Neal for WDHS News in our new, soon-to-be studio.
And we're inviting you this week to sit in on our auditions for this week's news.
Hi, this is Stephanie Zlulik bringing you another edition of WDHS News.
This is Melvin McDork bringing you another edition of WDHS News this week.
Hi, this is Matt Hunt for WDHS News.
Huh? Oh, aloha. This is Rich Stannis reporting for another edition of WDHS News. Our first story up is the weather with Christine Milak. Take it away.
Expect temperatures to be in the 80s for this weekend. Thunder showers will enter into the area with a low pressure trough late Saturday and early Sunday. With thunderstorms, the temperatures will go into the low 70s. A note to all you walleye fanatics out there. Walleye catching will be good to excellent at Breast Bay this weekend as the water approaches the 60-degree mark. That's B-R-E-S-T Bay. To all you sunbathers out there, get your suntan oil now. This is your weekend. Good luck and happy sunning, fishing, or whatever you've planned for this weekend. This has been Christine Milak for WDHS Weather.
Thanks, Christine. I'm sure we're ready for the weekend, are you? Our next story up is our feature of the week with Jim Weekly. 1, 2, 3, and away we go.
7 days ago, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, May 24th, Dearborn put on its second language festival at Tin Lake Resource Center. If you didn't go, you missed French chocolate eclairs, Spanish nachos and batanas, German strudels, and shish kebabs. And of course, our very own Dearborn High Schoolers put on Little Red Riding Hood in French, headed by Mr. Kelly, in German by Mrs. Putzik, and in Spanish by Mrs. Ward. Fordson also was involved, putting on their can-can dancers. This language festival was designed to let people know what languages are taught in the schools of Dearborn. Over 800 people showed up. Present also were some colleges, and one room was even set up with foreign language computers. So if you missed this year's festival, come again in 2 years, as it will be held once every 2 years. This has been a WDHS News production. I'm Jim Weekly.
Thanks, Jim. I wish I was at the language festival to enjoy all that great food. Last but not least is sports with Johnny Wassick. Take it away, John.
Hi, this is John Wassick here for WDHS Sports. Well, we're coming to the end of another sports year here at Dearborn High, and I'll have to say our teams did pretty darn well. In boys sports, the track team finished at 5-1 and got 4th at regionals. They also had 4 members that qualified for state. These were pole vaulters Tom Bridges, John Nanos, and Rusty Brand, and long-distance runner Mark Somerville. The baseball team slowed down at the end of the season after a start of 11-3 to finish at a mark of 12-8. The boys tennis team, on the other hand, only had 1 loss to make them 11-1, but it didn't stop there because they won regionals and are now at state in Midland, and they'll be there until Saturday. The girls' sports, on the other hand, the track team finished at 6-5 and took 4th in both the Brighton Invitational and in regionals, and have a few state hopefuls. Now the girls' golf team had a lot of trouble this year, I heard. I'm not sure what the record was, but I was told it was pretty disappointing. But to end on a good note, the girls' softball team have a 12-11 record, which doesn't sound great, but you have to know that it's their best finish since 1978. Thanks, this has been John Wassick here for WDHS Sports.
Thanks, John. This has been Rich Stannis for another exciting, spectacular, erotic edition of WDHS News.
Well, that about wraps it up for this edition of WDHS News.
That just about wraps everything up, Dave. One more edition of WDHS News, and I went down.
This has been Stephanie Zlulik for WDHS News.
Well, this has been very interesting. I've had a good time with you folks. This has been Melvin McDork for this edition of WDHS News This Week.
Well, that just about wraps it up for this week of WDHS News.
First story up is a humor story with Christine and Nick, right there. That one, those two, a humor story.
Hey kids, it's time for the adventures of Hardcore Ken and Pseudopunk Barbie. Here we join Barbie and her friend, Pretty Peppy Pam, at their house.
Yay! Woo! My favorite show! Oh, yay! What are you gonna wear to dance? I'm like so totally confused. Don't you love it? No, I cannot believe it. You went to take crazy. Oh, I wanna go to Limited Express and get like something new. No, like it's so weird. I don't believe it. You get on your head. You're like so weird. Oh, no, you're like so weird. I do not believe you. You're like the weirdest girl I know. No, you can't buy my shoes. Like, come on. Come on. Don't you get my shoes? That's it.
Here we are at Ken's house, and Ken is practicing some of his new breakdance moves before he goes out for a night on the town. Well, whoa, this stuff's tiring. Watch me do the moonwalk. Here we are at the Disco Dance Light Studio, where people practice their new moves and just hang out, you know?
This is wow, look at this place. It's like so weird. Oh wow, look at your camera. Where'd you get that hickey? It's curling iron burn. Oh sure, you slut, you slut, you slut. I don't believe I hang around with you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't believe this. Look at that. Oh my god, I don't believe it. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh my god. Oh wow. Oh wow. He's like so. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh, I am like blinded. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh look at that body. Oh.
Hi, ladies.
Oh, he's looking at me. Oh, he's looking at me. Look, he's looking at me. Can't you see? Oh, look at him. Oh my god, it's so weird. It's so weird. I love it. It's so weird. I don't believe I'm doing this. Oh my god, he's so weird. This is so weird. Oh my god, he's dancing like so weird. Oh man. Love. Oh, this is true love.
So Hardcore Ken and Pseudopunk Barbie walk off into the cardboard sunset and live happily ever after. Oh, Barbie.
Oh, Ken.
Oh, Barbie.
Oh, Ken. Oh, where is she? Oh, it's the guy. He was looking at me. She stole him. She stole him. She stole him. He was looking at me. If I would have worn those shoes. Oh.
Thanks, Nick and Christine, for that humorous humor story. That was real funny. Next story up is weather with Dana Gerke, right there, for the weather.
Hi, I'm Dana, and this week I got weather. And even though I don't want weather, I got it. And I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna like it. And you're gonna like it. Because if you don't like it, you gotta fake it or something, because it's my grade. Throughout this week, we'll be having mostly showers and a lot of precipitation. And but this weekend, it'll be pretty much like last weekend. And Friday will be a little cloudier, Sunday it'll be a little bit sunnier. But all in all, it'll be a real swell weekend. Unfortunately for our Dearborn students, we have to stay in because we have finals to study for. That's about it for this week's weather, and it's our last and final chapter of WDHS weather. Oh, have a nice summer now, you hear?
Thanks, Dana, for that weather. What a forecast, boy, I can't wait. All right, our next story is feature story with...
Hi, this is Amy Neal, interviewing the seniors on their last week here. Max, are you going to be missing anything here at Dearborn High?
The girls.
Anything else?
I'm going to miss mass media, too, a lot, let me tell you.
I bet you are.
Yeah.
What are you going to be doing in your future?
I plan to go to school for, I don't know, 4 to 6 years and then get a job and make lots of money. Drive fast cars.
Sounds good. Thanks, Max. Sherry, you're a senior, right?
Right.
Have these 3 years gone by really slow?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you going to be missing anything here?
Just mostly my friends.
Anything else?
Oh, I don't know. The plays, doing the plays.
Yeah. What are you going to be doing in your future?
Going to college at U of M Dearborn, and hopefully getting another job.
Okay, good luck. Amy, what are you going to miss most here at Dearborn High?
I'd say the mass media 2 class and the thespians, of course.
What's in store for you in the immediate future?
Well, I'm going to hopefully be in the Dearborn Summer Theater's production of Grease, and then go to California, and then Michigan State.
Are you going to go to Michigan State for 4 years?
Yeah, I think so, unless I'm really into it after 4 years, and then I'll go for my master's.
Okay, well, good luck.
Thanks.
Are you guys looking forward to getting out of here?
Most definitely.
What are you guys going to miss most here?
I think the losing basketball teams.
How about you, Steve?
Just a lot of friends and, you know, basically just being here, you know,
Yeah.
the place.
What are you looking forward to in the future?
Parties.
Are you going to go to college next year?
Yeah, I'm going to Oberlin.
Where's Oberlin?
Boonies in Ohio, way down, middle of nowhere. But they have a nice gym.
Where are you going to school?
I'm going to Eastern in Ypsilanti.
Okay, this sounds like fun. I hope you guys have fun in the future. This has been Amy Neal interviewing the seniors. They're going to be out of here soon.
Our next story up is going to be sports with Thad Avery. That's Thad doing the sports. I think he's playing wiffle ball. I'm not sure. Let's take a look.
This is Thad Avery reporting for WDHS News Sports, where I'll be bringing you a recap of all the sports that happened here at Dearborn High in this past year. We'll go right down the line with baseball, starting off with 12-8 record. Good job, guys. And swimming, not surprising at all, 12-0, and they took 5th in state. They're great. Football, same old thing, 6-3, but I think they'll do better next year. Why, we've got a great team coming up next year. I think we're going to beat Edsel Ford next year. And starting off with soccer again, 6-1. Second year here, they're doing a good job. Girls soccer went 10-4. Congratulations, ladies. The track held their own with a 5-1 record. On to basketball, 5-16. That's pretty good. Well, not really, but we beat them when we had to beat them. We beat Edsel Ford, and that's good enough. Finally, wrapping it up with fantastic tennis, 11-1. Good job, guys. Well, this has been Thad Avery with Sports Recap of Dearborn High's past year. It's been a pretty darn good year, and, well, I'm pretty sure we'll do fantastic next year. This has been Thad Avery reporting for WDHS News Sports Recap.
That wraps up another terrific school year of WDHS News. This has been Doug Kosh.
With this week's edition of WDHS News. We've got a great show this week, so I hope you can stick around. First up, we've got one of my personal favorites, starring Tony Austin and Matt Hunt. It's the humor story. I hope you enjoy it.
And the super friends of the universe. I am Adam, Prince of Eternia and defender of the secrets of Castle Grayskull. This is Cringer, my fearless friend. Fabulous secret powers were revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic sword and said, "Wonder Twin powers, activate!" became the mighty Battle Cat, and I became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Only 3 others share this secret. Our friends, the Sorceress, Man-at-Arms, and Orko. Together, we defend Castle Grayskull from the evil forces of Skeletor.
Thanks, guys. What a classic. Next up, we have Gary Wygant with the weather.
This is Gary Wygant for WDHS weather. Thursday expected to be cloudy with a chance of rain and a high around 70 with a low around 50. On Friday, the weather begins to go through a cool front, bringing much cooler weather in from the north, making the weekend weather look like winter has arrived. Expect temperatures in the high 40s, low 50s with clear skies. Have a great weekend. This has been Gary Wygant for WDHS weather.
Now, we have our feature story, which is covering the Welcome Back dance that I'm sure you all had a great time at. Stephanie, take it away.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Zodek for WDHS News, reporting for one of those problems was the selling of the tickets. The seniors originally started out with 400 tickets and reprinted 100 in case they ran out. The seniors ran out of those 500 tickets and still reprinted 100 more. Overall, they sold 600 tickets and came to a close profit of $1,500. I'm here with Michelle Medjovic, the president of the senior class. Michelle, do you think it was hard getting this dance together?
No, it was really easy. We had a lot of support from all the students, and everyone really bought tickets quite quickly, as you know, from the sales and everything. It was really easy. It wasn't hard to put together at all.
So far, do you think the dance is going pretty good right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of students here. We didn't think we were going to sell as many tickets as we did. We sold almost 600 tickets, which is a lot of students for a Dearborn High School dance. So it's going really well. I think everyone's having a good time.
Out of all the classmen, which of the, from freshman to senior, do you think is here? Which class is here the most?
Freshmen, definitely. It's the first Dearborn High School dance, and all the freshmen are really interested in going to see, you know, what high school dances are like. It's a different change from what their dances are like in junior high school, because they're all after school. This is the first night dance that they've ever been to, so it's a big change for them. So I think that more of them want to experience it, so that's why there's a bigger, amount of them here than there are any upperclassmen.
Well, as you can see, there's a lot of hard work put into making a dance. But, as usual, the mighty seniors pull through. This has been Stephanie Zurek for WDHS News.
Thank you, Stephanie. And remember, October 13th for the homecoming, and for the back porch video sock hop, November 3rd. I'll see you there. And now we have exclusively on WDHS News, Rich Stanish with the sports.
Thanks, Michelle. This is Rich Stanish reporting for WDHS Sports. First up is girls tennis. They beat Plymouth Salem by a score of 6-1, and they placed second in St. Mary's Academy Invitational. In swimming, they beat Ann Arbor Pioneer by a score of 47-35. In guys sports, varsity football won big over Woodhaven by a score of 49-14. In soccer, the team beat Novi by a score of 4-1 and tied Edsel Ford. In cross country, they beat Edsel Ford by a score of 34-23, and they placed 10th out of 22 in the Shrine Invitational. This has been Rich Stanish reporting for WDHS Sports.
Last week in girls track, they lost to Grosse Pointe North but did well in the regionals, with Wendy Morawa placing for state. In boys tennis last week, they lost to Edsel 5-2 and finished third in the regionals, which was a real disappointment as they've gone to state for the last 7 years. Scores for soccer and softball were unavailable at the time of taping. This has been Jason Hunt for WDHS News.
Thanks, Jason. And this has been Rich Danish for another edition of WDHS News. So I'll catch you guys next week on the flip side, Jack.
Good evening.
This is Arthur P. on the riff. Time now for a news break. Baby!
Hi, this is Dino for WDHS News, and stay tuned for Margie with the sports. Baby!
Hi, I'm Margie Acorn, here for the Winter Sports Preview. We have a fun-filled winter to look forward to as far as Dearborn sports are concerned. Our winter sports are girls volleyball, boys basketball, boys swimming, boys wrestling, and last but not least, gymnastics. We have the dates of when it all begins. But first, let me show you what went on this week at the Boys Sports Banquet.
Another successful fall season of boys sports was wrapped up this Tuesday at the annual Fall Boys Sports Banquet. The athletes and their parents all showed up to witness Jack Johnson, our Dearborn High Athletic Director, introduce the various coaches. Each coach awarded outstanding athletes in their particular sport. Our own Mr. Johnson also thanked our video production class for taping all the football games to use in training for our football team.
Now I have the dates of these season openers as follows. Wrestling, December 6th at 6:30, and it's against Southgate, and it's a home game. Boys basketball, December 7th at 6:30, also against Livonia Churchill, and that also is a home game. Boys swimming, the first game is December 13th at 7 o'clock, and it's an away game at Plymouth-Salem against Plymouth-Salem. Girls volleyball, their first game will be December 22nd at 8 o'clock, and it's against Lansing, and it's also an away game. This has been Margie Acorn reporting for WDHS News, giving you the Winter Sports Preview.
Beep, 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 beep. Hi, this is Dino. I'm not home at the present time, but if you wait for the tone, you will experience Steve Livengood's creative story. Beep! excuse me, Mark. Mark? Hi, this is Dino. And I hate to interrupt you again, but I want to show you Thad's special commercial.
On November 29th, 30th, and December 1st, the Valentine Auditorium will come alive, but you won't see nuclear explosions, no Smurfs, and there will be no communist pigs, no hardcore punk rock, and no religious cults, no apples. What will you see November 29th, 30th, and December 1st? You will see a typical day of a mild-mannered high school English teacher. Administrators, dictators. The Pioneer Players present Up the Down Staircase, making your sides hurt from laughter. November 29th, 30th, and December 1st at 8 p.m. in the Valentine Auditorium at Dearborn High School. See you there.
Joanne, can you please send in Mr. Stetson?
My name isn't Joanne, it's Dino. And whether you like it or not, here's Phil with the weather.
This is Phil Theory, your hippy-dippy weatherman, like with all the hippy-dippy weather, man. First of all, I'd like to formally apologize to the former residents of Flat Rock, Michigan for all the sudden flooding. I guess we kind of caught them guys napping. And next we're going to take a look at the map, which we don't have over here because somebody stole it. So we're going to take a look at the map we have over here. Now, obviously, the thunderstorms are working their way downwards towards the town, and they should reach sometime around here about the projected time over here. And then after the thunderstorms come down, we're going to go into a very dark period. Technically, it's called night. Some might call it day, but we call it night. After that, it's going to turn into day, and then back into night. This pattern will go on for a long time, and there's nothing any of you can do about it. But hey, we're the weathermen. We control the weather, not you. If it weren't for us, you wouldn't know what's going to happen. This has been Phil Theory and a microphone for WDHS Weather.
Gee, Mark, thanks for joining us at WDHS News. Mark? Mark? Oh, well, see you people next week on WDHS News.
Good evening. This is your captain. We are about to attempt a crash landing.
Won't you come see about me? I'll be alone, dancing, you know it, baby. Tell me your troubles and doubts, giving me everything inside and out. And love strange, so real in the dark. Think of the tender things that we were working on. Slow change may pull us apart. When a life gets in your heart, baby, don't you forget about me.
Hi, I'm Ed Huckleberry, and welcome to WDHS News. Our first story is by Steve Livengood on the trip to Spain.
Hello, I'm Steve Limegood, and welcome to this week's feature story. I'm here with Mrs. Ward, Dearborn High School Spanish teacher, who will be going to Spain this Easter. How many students will be going to Spain, Miss Ward?
We have 39 students going.
And are all the students from Dearborn High?
No, we have students from Edsel, Ford, and Fordson also.
And how can you become eligible to go to Spain?
Well, the students have to be in at least second-year Spanish and currently enrolled.
And how many chaperones will be going to Spain?
We have 4 chaperones. Ms. Stackpool from Fordson, Mr. Kelly, and myself from Dearborn High, a former Dearborn High student, Dawn Dean, who is currently at the University of Michigan, and our foreign language coordinator, Dr. Lewick.
Next up, I have an interview with Ann Williams, who will be part of the program going to Spain this Easter. What part of Spain will you be going to, Ann?
Barcelona, which is near France, and also along the southern coast.
And how long will you be in Spain, Ann?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. And who will you be staying with in Spain, Ann?
For the first week, we stay with the family, and for the next 2, we stay in hotels all over Spain.
This has been Steve Livegood for WDHS News.
Thanks a lot, Steve. And now we have the weather with Anna.
Hey, thanks, Fed Ed. I'm Ann Hernick for this week's weather.
Good afternoon, and thank you for calling Weather Watch Anna. And here's today's Anna Watch forecast for the greater Detroit area. Continuous, about average weather extending throughout the weekend with marginal temperatures. And for you sharks in the viewing area, our marine forecast includes treacherous waves and wind speeds of 1 to 2 knots. Thank you for calling Weather Watch Anna.
That was terrific, Anna. And now we have Eric Rivard with this week's sports.
Hey there, sports fans. Not much in the world of athletics this week at Dearborn High, as the winter season for most teams has come to an end. But things worth noting is the Dearborn High boys swim team 4th place finish at the state meet. They're led by such standouts as Jeff McNiven, Jeff Clippard, Mike Buck, John Gifford, Rob Love, and Tim Sherman. In gymnastics, the girls finished 2nd at regionals, which qualifies the team to go to state meet. And in basketball, they suffered a disappointing end of their season by losing in the first round of district play to Taylor Truman 58-56. And in girls volleyball, the girls volleyball team also suffered a disappointing loss in district play to Westland John Glenn. This has been Eric Rivard for WDHS Sports.
That was great, Eric. And now we have Phil Theory with a creative, humorous story.
A is for Amy, who fell down the stairs. B is for Basil, assaulted by bears. C is for Clara, who wasted away. D is for Desmond, who was put away. E is for Emily, who choked on a peach. F is for Fanny, sucked dry by a leech. G is for George, smothered under a rug. H is for Hector, done in by a thug. I is for Ivan, who drowned in the lake. J is for James, who took lie by mistake. K is for Kevin, struck with an axe. L is for Leo, who swallowed some tacks. M is for Mel, who was swept out to sea. N is for Neville, who died of a knee. O is for Oscar, run through with an awe. P is for Patrick, flattened by a bra. Q is for Quincy, who sank in the mire. R is for Robert, consumed by a fire. S is for Sue, who perished of fits. T is for Tammy, who flew into bits. U is for Eunice, who slipped down the drain. V is for Victor, squashed under a train. W is for Wilbert, embedded in ice. X is for Zarias, devoured by mice. Y is for York, whose head was knocked in. And Z is for Zachary, who drank too much gin.
Well, Finn, that's it for this week's edition of WDHS News.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of WDHS News. Up first is a feature story on the 1985 Michigan Media National Student Video Festival with Mark.
Thanks, Steve. I'm Mark Parada reporting for WDHS News, bringing you the facts of the 1985 Michigan Media National Student Video Awards Festival held in Ann Arbor at the end of March, sponsored by the University of Michigan. I'm proud to say that Dearborn High came out with some high ranks out of the Video Awards Festival. Amy Neal taking first place in the music video division, along with Nick Rhodes and Jason Hunt as her crew. Congratulations to Amy. And also, we had some runner-ups in the short subject fiction division of the Video Awards Festival, taken by Masterpiece Video and Dwayne Fatel, along with myself. The commercial division of the Video Awards Festival also had some Dearborn High School runners-up, David Hebb, Craig Cutler, and myself again. For 1986, I'd like to say good luck and congratulations once again to Amy, Nick, and Jason from Mark Parada and WDHS News. Back to you, Steve.
Congratulations again, Amy, Nick, and Jason. Up next is this week's weather forecast with Eric Roquel.
For all of you that missed that great Florida weather over the vacation, in Dearborn for the next few days, you can expect it to get up into the high 70s and lows in the mid-50s and a bit windy. That's all for this week's weather. I'm Eric Roquel for WDHS News.
Wow, I can't wait to go out and get a suntan. Our next story is by Tony Austin and all his skinhead friends. Up next is Thad Avery with a special sports report.
This is Thad Avery reporting for WDHS News with a special sports report. For a number of weeks now, Dearborn High's varsity baseball team has been practicing. Well, this week all the practicing will pay off with the coming of their first game this Thursday. I recently talked with Mr. Savis, the head coach of the baseball squad, to see what he thought of this year's season.
I'm here with Coach Savis. First off, is this year going to be a rebuilding year? If not, will this year's team be as strong as last year's team?
It's not going to be a rebuilding year. 2 years ago, we had a real young group coming in. There were a nucleus of about 6 or 7 kids that we were building around. So those 6 or 7 kids are juniors and seniors this year. It looks pretty good. I think basically what it boils down to for this season, the kids that are coming back have to be able to do what they did last season, where we had a pretty good season, and of course to do even better than that 12-8 record that we had last season, they're going to have to push themselves a little bit harder.
What people are you looking for towards leadership, and who are your strong points on the team?
We have 4 seniors on the team this year. My 2 captains are Scott Weiler and Scott Mason. They've been playing baseball all their lives, and those kids they're not ready this year. They're never going to be ready. They've been with me for 2 full years now. This is their 3rd year. The other 2 seniors are Chris Hales, who's one of our top pitchers, and Tommy Smith. This was his 1st year as really a full-time player. We're planning to DH him and put him at first base. But those 4 kids right there are 4 seniors, and we have 12 juniors on the team. So our leadership's really going to have to come from those 4 guys.
This has been Thad Avery reporting for WDHS News.
Our final story is by Rad Alawan of Fordson, who has an interview with the Crystalettes upon their return from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Ladies, just a while ago they packed their bags and headed out on a western swing.
And the stage was set.
the Crystalettes were in Tulsa competing against some of the country's best precision skating teams. And the goal was quite simple, to be the best group of skaters in America. Well, that turned out to be easier said than done.
Yeah, we were nervous, but then after we got off the ice, we were a little disappointed because we let our nerves act against us.
The Crystalettes finished third out of 8 teams in the ladies junior division in the first round. That third place finish saw the Crystalettes advance to the second round skate-off, where if they would have been one of the top 4 teams, they would have advanced to nationals in Ohio later this month. However, someone forgot to write the script in the Crystalettes' role in Tulsa, and as a result, the team came home with a 6th place showing. After the team qualified for the second round skate-off, what was the atmosphere around the team at that time?
Well, we were all nervous, and we knew we had to try our hardest to place in the top 3.
Still, not a bad showing at all for these dedicated ladies. The road looks smooth for the Crystalettes as they strive to improve. And that's about the only thing a team like the Crystalettes can do. From the Mike Addery Sports Arena in Dearborn, this is Rod Alawan reporting for WDHS News.
This has been Steve Livengood for WDHS News.
Hello and welcome to another edition of WDHS News.
I'm here with Mr. Bruce, coordinator of the French Students Program, for the performance you just saw. Mr. Bruce, first off, how long did it take you to put the program together?
Well, we started in early February, and we really have only one afternoon a week to work with the students because, as you know, there's not a French program in each individual school. They bring the students to one school once a week, and they have an entire afternoon to work. Basically, what we've had is about an afternoon each week since that time to put it together, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less.
Okay, have you ever had the opportunity to do this before?
Not with this particular age group. I've done some musical shows outside of school, out of that text with different groups, but this is the first time that I've ever worked really with a 5th grade group like this and put it together.
Are you going on the trip, and when you're over in France, who will you be performing it for?
Yes, I have found out that I will be going along with the rest of them. Real excited about that. We leave in just a few days. When we get there, we have many performances that we have to do. I believe the very first afternoon that we're there, we meet with the city's mayor, the city of St. Cloud, and we perform for him. We perform a couple of times for different schools in the St. Cloud, Paris area. And just before we return back to the United States, we have a major performance, and we do it for virtually anyone in the city that would like to come in the Sun Blue Theater.
Next story up is weather with Chase.
Hi, this is Chase Huddle for WDHS Weather. As you know, for the past couple days, we've been having some bad weather, and you can look for this to continue for the rest of the week, with the highs dipping down to the lower 40s for this weekend. But don't worry, next week the skies will clear, and we should get the temperature up to those record-breaking 80s that we had last week. This has been Chase Huddle for WDHS Weather.
Mazel tov weather, Chase. Next is the humorous creative story with Michelle Wood.
Hi, I'm Michelle Wood. I'm here for WDHS News. People, what do you guys think that Martians look like?
Probably have antennas growing out of them. 3 heads and 4 legs and 2 hands and 1 finger. They have antennas and big noses going like clad and they're green all over. He has 2 green feet. I don't know. Like free-eyed green with monsters with 16 legs and 17 teeth. I don't know.
Could you take a guess?
No.
No?
He has round eyes. He's big. He's like gorilla. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other gold. Make new friends, but keep
Well, this has been Michelle Wood, WDHS News, up here at Levigood Park interviewing some of the kids and getting their point of view.
That was an extremely good story, Michelle. Up next is the sports with Filbert.
Hello and welcome to another week of WDHS Sports. So far this season, all of our teams have been doing quite well. Tennis just won a match over Brighton 7-0, and boys baseball just lost to Woodhaven 5-2, but they hope to make that one up later on. Girls softball, on the other hand, just won a big one against Edsel 28-3. That was a brilliant showing there. And in track season, the track team came in second in the Elks Relay, which was run just last week. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon.
That ends this edition and portion of the news. This has been Jason Hunt for WDHS News.
Hello, and welcome to another astounding week of WDHS News. Here's the first story about the Mardi Gras with Dwayne and Steve, so stay tuned. This promises to be exciting.
The date, Tuesday night, the 19th of February. The place, Dearborn High's Redwood Room. The event, the celebration of Mardi Gras by the language classes at the 3 high schools. During the course of the evening, The kids studying a foreign language, along with parents and teachers, enjoyed many things such as food, dancing, and a few lucky winners won prizes for their best costume. Dance was a big success and it was enjoyed by all. This has been Dwayne Fatal reporting for WDHS News. Back to you, Mike.
What quality programming that was. Well, now we bring you the WDHS Sports.
Thanks, Mike. In boys basketball this week, sophomore Steve Moore scored 16 points to lead Dearborn over Taylor Center 61-58. Dearborn will host the district tournament next week at the Pioneer Gym. Dearborn will open with Taylor Truman next Tuesday, 8 o'clock. In boys swimming, the talented Tankers dominated all competition at the Brighton Invitational this past weekend. Coach Dunworth will be sending 13 swimmers to the state meet. In girls volleyball, the Lady Pioneers needed all 3 games to beat Ann Arbor Pioneer Monday evening. It was hard spikes by Kristen Sarkozy and Laura Motti that ensured the victory. Finally, in boys wrestling, Coach Sam Ellis will be sending 1 wrestler to state. I got a chance to talk to Jeff Suzuki earlier this week about the state competition. Hi, I'm here with Jeff Suzuki of the Dearborn High wrestling team. Jeff was the first Pioneer to qualify for the state wrestling meet in the past 5 years. Jeff, could you tell us a little bit about the state competition?
Well, Scott, the state meet consists of the top 16 wrestlers in each of the 13-pound weight classes. I will be wrestling the 198-pound class. The state meet this year is held at Grand Valley State in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Jeff, what do you feel your chances are this year at this year's state meet?
As you know, Scott, in any state contest, there is tough competition. My ultimate goal is to finish in the top 6.
Well, Jeff, we wish you best of luck at this year's state competition. This has been Scott Mason reporting from the Suzuki home for WDHS Sports.
Fantastic coverage. And now we have the weather with Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Prada for WDHS Weather, back here at the Dearborn High School fishing pond, getting in shape for the spring boys fishing team lineup coming up very soon, but I'm going to give you some weather. As you might have noticed, in the last few weeks we've had some heavy snow accumulation with some very bitter temperatures, very cold and brisk. This is not going to happen too much more in the future. For the next week, averages are going to be ranging in the 40s, but for the end of this month in February, it's not going to be as cold, and it will be warming up in March. We will be looking forward to a couple more days of snow accumulation, though, and most of the snow that has been melting in the last few days because of the warm temperatures has resulted in the Dearborn High fishing pond. We'll be looking forward to March 22nd and the first day of spring, but as for Mark Parada warming up for his spring boys fishing lineup, this has been him for WDHS Weather. I got it.
Great story. And now here's some quality programming from Mike Anderson. Stay tuned.
people to love you. You need the people to show the facts instead of getting things shown you. Want the people to be the people they are. You need the people to show the facts instead of you. Government space is long and you're much smaller. Did again the other man, he's much smaller.
Well, that's all for WDHS News, so toodles.
Make sure you don't get a close-up of that. Hey, Dwayne, this is what we're going to do. You gotta close. Keep going, all right? Let me put a tape back in.